the kids really just went for it in a big way. It was great, and Boyd showed them some of the easy techniques to pick up to doing graffiti and to make it look good and to make it acceptable, because we're very aware that graffiti is a little controversial and it's not everybody's cup of tea.
My name's John. I live on the St Andrews estate and I'm 15 years old.
I mean, really, they were just youth who ain't really got nothing to do, just off the estate, you know, who ain't really channelled into anything. They was doing something that was an alternative to, say, doing, say, canoeing or sport or something. It was just a different activity we had in mind.
My name's Lee, I'm 15 years old and I live in Highfield.
My name is Elliot, I'm 12 years old and I live on Sorday Street. And this is our piece.
We were just showing them basic aerosol techniques, you know, got their names up, how to do fill-ins, outlines, working out whole murals. We did a message as well, like have a nice day, something for the public so that they could see we had a message behind what we were doing.
Most people's understanding of graffiti is a swear word plastered up on the side of a house or the side of a building or an industrial estate or boards and hoardings like this. And sure, that is wrong. I can't condone that. I can't say that, you know, any negative images like that should be whited out and people that put them up should be prosecuted. However, what you see here today is an art form. The talent that's here and the quality of the work that's gone up is absolutely stunning. And I truly believe that it is an art in its own right, and it can be compared with any other art form. Some people will like it and some people won't like it. I certainly don't think that this sort of work, done properly in the right place, is morally wrong.
It's what we call a wild style. It's a style which is sort of invented by writers for writers. It doesn't really matter if people outside the culture can't read it, because people within should be able to read it, and you can identify who's done it by the sort of connections he's used or the arrows he's used. Everyone's got a certain type of connection or arrow, and like I say, this is Sepp's interpretation of a wild style.
Is that a good example?
Yeah, I mean, alongside it you've got another score piece which is sort of taken it to another level. He's actually done this as part of the Victory in Europe celebrations, which was last year obviously, and he's done it as though it were parts of a Spitfire, like aircraft. You can see with the colouring, it's like the camouflage colouring they used to have on the planes, and little gun turrets. And then he's done, across the bottom, there's little bouncing bombs with people's names, like dedications to people in it. This is a nice example of like trying to think a little bit more and do things that are a little bit different.
Simon Sunderland, a guy from Yorkshire, has been in the news a lot recently because of his 5-year sentence for actually graph for writing. That to me is just totally obscene. You get rapists that may be inside for 1.5 years, 2 years, and they get out.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they've obviously done this thing with Simon Sutherland as an example, to try and set an example and say, well, you know, take your chances, boys, you may get 5 years. But I don't really think it's going to put people off, because people do it, there's a deeper level on which people are painting, and they may be more careful, or they may think about, you know, but I think they did that anyway. I think he was aware of the risks he was taking. He just didn't expect to get 5 years for it.
But graffiti, there's like no laws. You just do what you want to do. You can get arrested for like some of the illegal action, but you know when you go into that field that is what could happen to you. So you're still making your own mind up. Nobody's telling you what you can and can't do. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to go and do a train, go and do a train. If you want to go and do a wall, you do a wall.
mean, it's a criminal act and it's illegal, but it's not an immoral act. For instance, if I do a painting for Carlton TV tomorrow and you pay me, or you even just say, you can do my wall, right? The act itself, you say, oh great, it's a nice piece of art. But if I did it another night on a trackside without permission, suddenly it's an illegal act and something that should put me behind bars.
You don't know, I mean, the background behind the judge or what really. You know, if you had a bad day that day, decided to give someone, you know, shit, I'll give him 5 years for writing on a wall.
It's like a blow back from the youth, you know. I mean, we've been, in the 90s especially, we've had everything we try and do is suppressed by some form of, like, authority. You've got the rave scene where they're trying to stop that. You've got various other elements of youth culture trying to be controlled by people who don't know what they're doing.
A lot of people think it's just a destructive thing, but it's people reacting to like how they're treated in society and so on, and just trying to make something of it. Because a lot of people, they're unemployed, they haven't got much money, job situation is bad, so it's like people just finding something to inspire others, and that's what we're trying to do basically, just inspire other people and keep ourselves going and surviving at the same time as well, man.
It's chipping away at what is given and what is said and what is society, because it's just something illegal on the edge or not really tolerated on the edge of it, and it's not controlled. No one's saying to you, paint this, paint that, they're just doing what they feel. So on that level, I think it has some importance.
There's another example of a style here which is what we'd call a quick piece, really. It's just the guy probably didn't have an outline, or maybe he did, but a lot of the times you just go to the wall with the idea in your head. The thing about this piece is it's a memorial to a writer who died, so it's quite special, and what you'll find is people won't go over this piece because it's like the guy's name who died, condemn, so it's a mark of respect, really. Obviously people do pay the ultimate price, which is death. I mean, some of the things they're doing, like going into train layups at night when there's a 40, I don't even know how much voltage of electricity goes through them, but it's enough to kill you outright. There are dangers, and death is the ultimate price to pay. I mean, there have been people who have died just through doing graffiti. Personally, I don't know any myself personally, but I know of them. And in each issue of the magazine, it's quite sad because in the last 3 issues there's been reports of people dying in like each issue, and hopefully it's something that's not going to be a regular occurrence, but we don't control that.
For whatever reason they're doing it, they're serious about it, and understand that serious nature, that people who write, that is a big part of their life. It may not be all their life, but it's a big part of it, and what they're doing, they're serious about it. They may muck about too, but they know everything about where they're going to in order to do something. They know what fence they've got to cut, they know what wall they've got to jump, they know which way they're going to run if the cops come or whatever, or even if it's just, if they're in an area where they don't feel safe, they know, right, okay, I've got no wallet on me, I can defend myself and get out quickly if the local little hooligans want to come play. All these things, and this is just before they even get to paint a surface and then create something. Then that's what people don't realise. If you're sitting on an easel on your arse with like a little palette and you're just having a fag, you know, contemplating what you're going to do, you haven't got any clue of what goes into making a piece in an illegal or an environment outside of that gallery space or that studio.